That was a long time ago. By the way, just to be clear, when I did American Idol, all they ever did was put horrible singers in front of me. There is a difference. This show, they're good.
Courtney Hadwin's journey on America's Got Talent was nothing short of electrifying. But behind the scenes, a controversy brewed that caught the attention of fans and industry insiders alike. While her raw, soul-stirring voice wowed millions, some couldn't help but question whether her previous experience on shows like The Voice Kids UK gave her an unfair advantage. Was it right for someone with such a history to compete on AGT? As Courtney's career took flight, Simon Cowell, known for his sharp eye for talent, stood firmly behind her. But the real question remains, did the controversy overshadow her undeniable talent? Was Simon's belief in her enough to silence the critics? Keep reading to discover how the spotlight turned into a battleground and what Simon's emotional response revealed about her true potential. Courtney Hadwin's discovery of her talent. Courtney Hadwin's journey to stardom started in Hesleden, a village in County Durham in the northeast of England. Growing up in this small, unassuming town, she was a shy, reserved child who often faded into the background at school. Public speaking was an overwhelming challenge, and she rarely sought attention. However, when it came to music, Courtney found her voice. At home, she would sing along to her favorite songs, and her parents quickly noticed her raw, powerful voice. This early recognition sparked the beginning of a life-changing transformation. At around 10 years old, Courtney took the stage for the first time at her school's talent show. The event was modest, with a few rows of plastic chairs and a small audience, but as soon as Courtney began to sing, the atmosphere shifted. She wasn't just another nervous child. Her voice was electric and instantly captivating. Teachers and parents alike were stunned by her performance, which revealed to everyone, including Courtney, that she possessed something special, an extraordinary voice that set her apart from others her age. Courtney began taking her passion for music seriously, spurred on by her supportive family and teachers. She participated in local competitions, performed at music schools, and developed her contribution to stage presence. While most of her friends idolized contemporary pop artists, Courtney, the odd one out, was enamored with the primal, raw intensity that legends like Janis Joplin, Etta James, and James Brown could bring to bear. While typical of most pop fans, she was not attracted merely to the siren calls of the singers. She was fascinated by their physical movements, energy, and emotional delivery. To Courtney, music was not just about singing. It was about emotion, deep connection, and communication with the audience. This girl was out there and making a name for herself in the local field by performing at various small festivals and open mic events since the age of 12. There was absolutely nothing stopping her on stage, an electric performer coming alive in front of an audience. Off stage, she was still the shy girl from Hesleden, but whenever she sang, she became someone else. The first time she ever set foot on the stage made her realize her full potential and set her on the path toward her starving journey. As Courtney's voice began to command attention, her musical journey was profoundly shaped by the powerful legends who taught her how to transform raw emotion into an electrifying performance. Courtney's musical influences and inspirations. Courtney Hadwin's musical influences played a significant role in shaping her sound and performance style. Unlike many of her peers, who gravitated toward contemporary pop stars, Courtney was drawn to the raw, soulful sounds of music legends like Janis Joplin, Etta James, and James Brown. These artists weren't just her vocal role models, they were examples of how to live and breathe music with emotion, intensity, and authenticity. Courtney admired their ability to channel their personal experiences into their music, creating performances that resonated deeply with their audiences. From a young age, Courtney didn't just imitate these legends' voices, she studied every aspect of their artistry, from their vocal techniques to their stage presence and body movements. She was captivated by their ability to connect with the audience in a way that made every performance feel like an intimate experience. For Courtney, music was not just about singing notes. It was about expressing emotion and creating an experience that could make the audience feel something profound. This mindset became the foundation of her approach to music, setting her apart from other performers who focused on perfection rather than raw, heartfelt expression. Courtney's admiration of these legends extended to views on what it meant to be a true performer. According to Courtney, true entertainers were artists that, through the powers of their creativity, had undeniably left an imprint on their audience's psyche and soul. This very understanding had all the more influence on her own personal style of musical performance. For every show, she dedicated herself to conveying the same passion and energy. Whether in small clubs or international arenas, Courtney was determined to take the same approach her idols had, to sing with all her heart and to pour forth her emotions to her audience. Courtney's main influences were in the sphere of classic rock and soul, yet her ethos in life was always about carving her own way. She was really not interested in becoming a mainstream pop star. Courtney wanted a sound born from her roots and of her own artistic vision. These iconic figures had given Courtney her musical pathway, thereby allowing her to cement a niche in the industry for her own self to evolve as an artist, while retaining the emotional gravity and energy of her performances that were simply unforgettable. Hadwin's breakthrough on The Voice Kids UK. Courtney Hadwin's breakthrough began at just 12 years old when she auditioned for the inaugural season of The Voice Kids UK in 2017. She took the stage with Tina Turner's Nutbush City Limits, and her performance was electric. Her powerful, raw voice immediately captured the attention of the judges, and Danny Jones quickly selected her for his team. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of her journey, showcasing not just her vocal talent, but her undeniable stage presence and ability to command the attention of an audience. Throughout the competition, Courtney continued to impress. In the semifinals, she performed James Brown's I Got You, I Feel Good, demonstrating her vocal range and her ability to bring energy and soul to every note. Her performance captivated both the judges and the audience, solidifying her status as one of the top contenders. Despite not winning the competition, Courtney's time on The Voice Kids UK provided her with invaluable exposure and experience, setting her apart as a standout talent in the industry. Though Courtney didn't walk away with the trophy on The Voice Kids UK, the reality show's imprint on her future could never be erased. It was an avenue for her to flaunt her talent, exposing her to a wider audience and establishing her as a star in the making. As a performer, she matured due to the confidence she gained from performing before a nationwide audience and the judges' positive remarks about her performance. That was the very foundation of her career, especially when she took the big step in 2018 to participate in America's Got Talent. Courtney's participation in The Voice Kids UK not only helped hone her skills, but further positioned her as an artist who could connect with her audience. Her ability to translate passion, stage presence, and emotional depth of being was felt throughout the competition and is still felt today. The experience helped Courtney define her musical style, made her confident, and led to the next chapter in her career as an emerging star on the international music scene. The moment that changed everything. Courtney Hadwin's appearance on America's Got Talent, AGT, in 2018 was a career-defining moment that catapulted her into the international spotlight. At just 13 years old, Courtney seemed nervous and shy as she stepped onto the AGT stage, and her body language suggested she might be overwhelmed by the competition. However, as soon as the music started and she launched into her powerful rendition of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, everything changed. Her voice, raw and full of energy, immediately captivated the audience and the judges. It was clear that Courtney was no ordinary contestant. She was a force of nature. "It's like a switch just turned over," Heidi Klum remarked, acknowledging the dramatic transformation from shy girl to rock star. The energy that Courtney brought to the stage was electric. With her bold delivery and stage presence that could rival any seasoned rock performer, she commanded the audience's attention from the first note. Courtney's performance was filled with the kind of charisma and confidence usually seen in artists many years her senior. Howie Mandel, left speechless, could only say he had no words to describe it, while Simon Cowell, often known for his harsh critiques, was visibly impressed. But it was Howie Mandel who made the ultimate gesture. He pressed the golden buzzer, sending Courtney straight to the live shows. As confetti rained down and the crowd erupted in cheers, Courtney stood in shock, her dream unfolding in front of millions of viewers. That golden buzzer moment was the start of the viral sensation called Courtney. Very quickly, her performance went viral, and everyone in the world seemed to be talking about the raw power of her voice and her electric stage presence. Howie Mandel compared her to the greats, declaring, "You are not from this era. You're from a whole different era," and referred to her as the kind of artist whose discovery could be as sudden and monumental as that of Janis Joplin. A moment never supported Courtney as the most beautiful contestant throughout the season, but turned into a global internet sensation, garnering the attention of millions and counting for the second act. Courtney's AGT journey didn't end there. The golden buzzer is just the beginning. She continued to shine through the competition with powerful performances that showed her versatility and emotional depth, including the quarterfinals, where her standout performance was a high-energy rendition of James Brown's Papa Got a Brand New Bag. And in the semifinals, she took on Tina Turner's River Deep Mountain High, tackling it with even more fire than in the previous round. As each performance passed, the expectation built around Courtney the artist was steadily rising. Without any doubt, Courtney had become one of the most unforgettable contestants of the season, with both audiences and judges alike wondering what yet remained in store for this remarkable young artist. However, Courtney Hadwin's memorable AGT audition not only sealed the fate of her career, but also ignited a controversy that would dog her throughout the contest, raising questions regarding the very definition of a fresh contestant in the talent show arena. Controversy surrounding the AGT journey. Courtney Hadwin's time on America's Got Talent, AGT, sparked significant controversy, especially after her game-changing audition during season 13. The 13-year-old singer stunned the judges with her explosive performance of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, leaving a lasting impression on both the audience and the panel. Despite her undeniable talent, the intense scrutiny she faced for her past performances raised eyebrows, especially when fans discovered she had previously participated in The Voice Kids UK and Partners in 2017 and had played young Cosette in Les Miserables. This revelation led to criticism from some HT fans who felt it was unfair for someone with prior competition experience to participate in the show. This controversy sparked debates about what qualifies as a fresh contestant. Despite these challenges, Courtney's supporters rallied behind her, with AGT judge Howie Mandel speaking out against the criticism. He argued that there was no rule against appearing on multiple talent shows, and the notion that her previous performances gave her an unfair advantage was baseless. Howie emphasized that talent, not prior experience, should determine a contestant's potential, stating, "When did you make up that rule?" His defense of Courtney highlighted the broader issue of expectations placed on young contestants and the standards they must meet to be considered genuine discoveries. Courtney was dogged by the same outcry surrounding her past performances as she went through the competition. While the judges were melted with each of her performances, her critics were sorely awakened by social media every time she took to the stage. Questions rose as to how legitimate her being on AGT was, and frustrations emerged as the judges seemed oblivious to her prior appearances. It became a point of tension and the center of discussion, leaving, at times, her talent overshadowed. Courtney, though, kept things closer to her music. She said that she was more than her past appearances. Courtney's position in the competition even became a matter of controversy. She was not crowned as AGT champion, but placed among the bottom 5 of the top 10, igniting outrage in many fans. To most supporters of Courtney, her embarrassing defeat at the hands of magician Shin Lim was viewed as an upset, and they expressed their displeasure on social media. Some fans even threatened to revolt, stating that more limelight should be splashed on her. Only the result of the competition would indeed fuel the belief that Courtney's journey is far from over and that her best will come into light in the future. Amidst the controversy surrounding Courtney Hadwin's AGT journey, Simon Cowell's belief in her talent led to a game-changing opportunity that would shape her career in unexpected ways. Simon Cowell's role in Courtney Hadwin's career. Courtney Hadwin's career took a significant leap forward when she signed a record deal with Arista Records in December 2018, a move that was made possible through Simon Cowell's Psycho music label. Although she didn't win America's Got Talent, AGT, Season 13, Courtney's performance and viral success earned her a spot in the prestigious Psycho roster. As one of the many notable talents discovered by Cowell, including Camila Cabello and Grace VanderWaal, Courtney's journey was greatly influenced by his belief in her raw talent. "I am super excited and feel so lucky," Courtney expressed in a statement about the deal, emphasizing how being able to work with Psycho while staying true to her musical style was a dream come true. Courtney's time on AGT, where she earned Howie Mandel's Golden Buzzer for her unforgettable performance of Otis Redding's Hard to Handle, solidified her status as a rising star. The Golden Buzzer moment not only captured the hearts of viewers, but also caught the attention of Simon Cowell, who, having seen her potential, helped guide her toward a record deal. Her AGT performance was a turning point, not just in her career, but also in her development as an artist. As Cowell has done for many other successful artists, he saw in Courtney the qualities of a unique, standout talent who could transcend the limits of the competition and thrive in the broader music industry. "All my life I wanted to work on original songs, and being able to do that with the support of Psycho," while remaining true to myself and to the music I like is a dream come true," stated Courtney, whose dream of making original music was finally being realized with the backing of Simon Cowell and Psycho. Artistic freedom thus forms an important chunk of her journey. The current deal, the record deal, engaged her in another chapter of her life, in which she would get to find, explore, and develop her own sound without having to compromise on authenticity. It opened avenues to work with top-notch producers and musicians, giving her the tools necessary to develop a career in music. A celebrity show with Simon Cowell and Psycho clearly provided a platform for Courtney to pursue her dreams. Though she didn't win AGT, her exposure at the show wouldn't be the only thing to propel her ultimately as a star. As Courtney transitioned into that star space, she placed much more significance on the relationship she kept with Simon Cowell. Greater mentorship and belief in talent by Simon Cowell gave the young lady the courage to pursue music and solidify her place among the best of emerging young artists. This record deal was just the first starting point. Simon's involvement paved the way for even bigger things in the future. The pressure of proving herself after AGT. After her success on America's Got Talent, Courtney Hadwin faced the immense pressure of proving she could maintain the magic of her performances and build a lasting career. The golden buzzer moment and viral success had thrust her into the limelight, but the real challenge was transitioning from a reality TV sensation to a full-fledged artist in the highly competitive music industry. Fans and the industry were eager to see if she could sustain her success and deliver original music that could match the energy and soul she had brought to the AGT stage. The expectations were high, and Courtney knew she had to prove she was more than just a one-time star. Courtney's journey after AGT was filled with challenges that came with the expectations of a major record label. After signing a deal with Psycho Music and Arista Records, she quickly realized that the music industry was more complicated than she had anticipated. The pressure to release an album came fast, and with that came the industry's focus on polished, radio-friendly hits. This was at odds with Courtney's raw, soulful style, which didn't always fit into the mainstream mold. She found herself at a crossroads, struggling to balance staying true to her artistry while meeting the commercial demands placed on her by the label. Rather than going through the angst of putting together an album so soon, Courtney made a tactical move to release the cover sessions in 2019. Classic songs featured on the project were one way to let her voice be known in a studio, tapering her way into recording without the impulsive pressure to merge into an album she felt was just not hers. While the covers helped in promoting her sound, they left the question: can Courtney create originals that resonate just as powerfully? The uphill grind to prove there was much more to her than an AGT contestant constantly beckoned her, while at the same time offering a window for deeper dives into her artistry. With every challenge that emerged, Courtney became more determined to create music on her terms. The quest to succeed and meet expectations only encouraged Courtney to remain true to herself. In moving forward in her career, Courtney understood that her way of making it or not would be staying true to her voice and style, not what the industry dictated to her. Ahead lay hurdles, but those hurdles were strengthened by Courtney's firm resolve to remain true to her artistic vision. COVID-19 and career delays. As Courtney Hadwin's music career was gaining momentum, the COVID-19 pandemic struck, halting much of the progress she had made. Like many artists, the pandemic brought the music industry to a standstill. forcing her to put her career on hold. Studio sessions were canceled, live performances postponed, and tours were put on pause, leaving Courtney in a state of uncertainty. The disruption was particularly difficult for her, as she had been eager to continue building on the success she had gained from America's Got Talent and release new music. With the world changing around her, Courtney faced a period of waiting and adjusting to the rapidly evolving landscape of the music industry. Courtney had been planning significant projects for 2008, with studio sessions underway and a lineup of live shows and performances. However, the pandemic forced these plans to be delayed indefinitely. As opportunities were canceled or postponed, the uncertainty surrounding her career became overwhelming. Courtney was left to navigate the ambiguity, unsure when or how her career could regain its momentum. This period of disruption was particularly challenging, as it was unclear when the industry would reopen or when live shows would resume. One of the obstacles encountered by Courtney during the pandemic that changed the whole course of her career was the dissolution of her contract with her record company. The reasons for the contract break never were fully disclosed, but the timing, along with the pandemic pressure, seemed indicative of her wish for creative freedom. Courtney's earnest and heartfelt style clashed with the constraints of the mainstream music industry, which bullies artists into considerations of commercial success and pop sterility. Thus, this was a major turning point in her career when she relished the opportunity to step back from the pressures of the label and carefully reevaluate her course forward in music. Leaving a major label is seen as a misstep under normal circumstances, whereas, for Courtney, this became a prime opportunity to gain control of her music and creative destiny. With all this considered, one thing that shone through these adversities was Courtney's grit in managing herself through challenges ushered by the pandemic. Use time to concentrate on music, embrace new creative directions, and ready herself for the eventual industry return whenever that time comes. Courtney Hadwin's breakup with Psycho Music. Courtney Hadwin's decision to part ways with Psycho Music in 2008 was a pivotal moment that marked a significant shift in her career. After signing with the label following her America's Got Talent success, Courtney initially saw it as a stepping stone toward building her music career. However, over time, she realized the pressure to conform to commercial expectations was stifling her creative expression. The label's emphasis on producing radio-friendly hits, driven by mainstream trends, did not align with Courtney's raw, soulful style. She felt that the industry's emphasis on polished perfection left no room for the authenticity and emotional depth that defined her music. "I am just me, and it was great that AGT let me be me on stage," Courtney shared in a 2018 interview, highlighting her struggle with fitting into a system that didn't support her unique voice. Leaving a major label is often seen as a career setback for artists, but for Courtney, it was an opportunity to regain control over her creative direction. Rather than rushing to release an album under the pressures of industry standards, she chose to take her time and explore music on her own terms. This newfound independence allowed her to reconnect with her roots, drawing inspiration from the classic rock and soul legends she admired. Courtney's decision to embrace her artistic freedom proved crucial in her evolution. As she explained, "The stage is the place where I feel most myself," signaling her desire to stay true to her artistic identity without external constraints. By then, 2021 marked a year in which Courtney was growing into her independence, dedicating herself to the writing and releasing of original material. A theme of self-discovery that bridged the artist from being a contestant in a reality show to being a genuine artist was the period. She began experimenting with a varying style combining rock with soul funk and pop. The style and sound she developed represented her journey. Courtney worked with renowned names in the music business such as Kevin Bowe and John Fields, making music that was both true and offbeat. She made it clear that she wasn't interested in being swallowed by a mainstream mold. She wanted to exist in a space truly hers. By rejecting the commercial expectations in the mainstream music industry, she carved an artistic vision on her own terms. By then, in 2023, other singles emerged under her own steam, such as Breakable, That Girl Don't Live Here, and Monsters. The latter became a fan favorite, placed top 20 on the Billboard Hard Rock Digital Song Sales chart, and topped the iTunes charts for both Australia and Sweden. The official Monsters video also reached 1 million views, further establishing her name in the music industry. Since then, in a coordinated online stream on Monsters performed live at Metropolis Studios, Courtney re-established her name by pushing the song's emotional impact to a fever pitch using thunderous world-class vocals. Disengagement from the indies allowed her to reclaim authority over her career while being able to produce music that resonated well with her increasing fan base, establishing herself as one of the most exciting names emerging in UK rock. After leaving Psycho Music in 2020, Courtney Hadwin embarked on a journey of self-discovery, embracing her artistic freedom and redefining her sound as she prepared for a new chapter in her career. Journey to self-discovery. 7 years after Courtney Hadwin's unforgettable audition on America's Got Talent, the now 20-year-old artist is preparing to release her long-awaited debut album. Reflecting on her journey, Courtney recognizes the transformation she has undergone as both an artist and an individual. When she first entered the music industry at such a young age, it felt overwhelming, and she allowed others to dictate her path. However, as she matured, she gained confidence in her own judgment. "I know who I am as an artist, and I know why I love music," she says, marking a significant shift in her approach to music and her personal growth. This newfound self-awareness is evident as she readies her music for the world. Courtney's debut album has been years in the making, and she is incredibly proud of the outcome. Unlike many albums that begin to sound similar after a few tracks, Courtney assures her fans that each song on the album has its own distinct sound and meaning. Each track could easily stand alone as a single, demonstrating the depth and variety of her work. Through years of writing and recording, Courtney has grown not just as an artist, but as a person. And that connection to her music is evident in the final product. She hopes her album will deeply resonate with her audience, sharing a part of herself with them in every song. Of the several nuggets inside the album, Spellbound is the one all-around raw punk anthems. The punk rock energy feels right in Courtney. Irrespective, the song is not meant to be placed among the main cards, but apparently last-minute writing happened while Courtney was in Minneapolis, and the influence of a catalyst young adult unhealthy relationship portrayed in The Head, all the emotional content of ignoring red flags in a situationship. As unplanned as a bomb, she still managed to keep herself in the ring regarding the major track as a talent to turn personal experience into creating stuff. The employment of Grammy-winning producer Kevin Bowe as one such integral part of Courtney's growing potential as an artist, regarding whom he is popularly known for working with icons like Etta James and Joe Cocker, is critical. According to Kevin, knowing Courtney's vision and encouraging her to make music that is true to herself have had a truly revolutionary effect on her. The collaboration of the two led to the refinement of Court's sound and the buildup of self-confidence toward having a hand in her musical direction. In fact, it has conditioned them to cut the album for the mutual respect they have. Reflection on the whole Float Me Down journey of self-discovery and growth comes from Courtney as she launches into her debut album. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Let us know your thoughts on Courtney Hadwin's journey in the comments below. And make sure to click on the next video on the screen to keep the excitement going. See you in the next one.